joined Michael Jordan and Elton Brand as the only Bulls to score a 40-point game, 21 years or younger. What does that mean to you?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know why God keeps giving me gifts. I keep thanking him every day. I thank my family. I thank all those people that helped me. It doesn't matter what you've done for me. You could have gave me a ride to practice. It doesn't matter. I always appreciate everybody who's helped me. I am appreciative of being and playing basketball at the NBA level, and it's all God's gift, man. I thank God at the end of the day.
Buzelis flies! If you're gonna try, you better try hard. Buzelis. Fuck! Oh my gosh!
Matas Buzelis has been one of the more intriguing young players to watch because of, quite frankly, how badly the Bulls need to hit on this draft pick. This dude was a lock to go early in the lottery. And then with the help of a failed G League Ignite program, along with some understandable skepticism, they got blessed with landing this incredible talent with the 11th pick. On this video, we're going to take a look at his strengths, his flashes of brilliance, how he's been utilized under Billy Donovan, and the areas of opportunity in his game. Buzelis is a terror in the open floor, which fits right into Chicago's style like a glove. This is a team that ranks 3rd in pace and 6th in fast break points. Any defensive rebound, any opponent turnover, and Buzelis is off and running. He is one of the most exciting players to watch in these situations. There just aren't many defenders that can deal with his combination of speed, length, and athleticism while backpedaling in transition. He's either going to fill the lane alongside a teammate for a lob, or he can even bring it up himself and go coast to coast. There's powerful dunks, there's acrobatic finishes around the rim that give the Bulls fans and Stacey King something to be excited about.
Nationwide is on your side.
When it comes to the half court, he's been a great off-ball cutter, which causes a lot of problems against a defense that's put in rotation. His timing from the weak side when his teammates are driving on the strong side is on point. If defenders turn away from him to try to shrink in the paint, he's going to cut into space, and if they're able to find him, he's up in the air for another powerful dunk or a crafty layup around traffic. If there's an offensive rebound, he's also going to cut for opportunities to go right back up in the chaos. Buzelis does spend a lot of time out on the perimeter, with Billy Donovan essentially using him as a floor spacer to bring out rim protectors if possible, but this really puts him in a box because of the fact that a lot of times his night is decided by whether or not he shot it well from outside. He's so underutilized in that sense that a team like Detroit will just put Cade Cunningham on him for long stretches just to conserve him on defense. When he's actually involved in on-ball actions, whether it's as a screener, in the pick and rolls, or as a ball handler and using screens to get downhill and break down defenses, you see just how special this guy can really be. As a three-point shooter, he's clocking at an average 36% clip, which is built by basically some really streaky games. Just like he has some red-hot nights from outside, he's also had some forgettable ones where he just can't connect. And he shoots with great confidence, which I really love. It definitely feels like there's no shot he doesn't like out there, and really doesn't hesitate to take them, which makes for a great mindset if you want to test your limits as a player. It's about finding the balance of passing up a decent look and putting the ball down to put teams in the blender, while also being able to identify the right moments to take the shots. Buzelis makes a lot of good things happen when he's putting that ball down and attacking his defender. When he's playing some second side offense where he catches a skip pass, he puts a lot of pressure on a defense, and this is where he actually needs to improve his game. As a driver, he's improved at finishing at the rim from last year, but he does still have bad habits that need to change. For one, he is so gifted with the length and athleticism that he often relies on those tools to avoid contact and tries to finish around people instead of trying to go through them. And this makes for a lot of ugly situations where a defender stays attached on his drives because he's not initiating contact to create separation, and he either gets blocked or he gets bumped and then misses some attempts. And playing with this much finesse, along with hanging out on the perimeter, directly correlates with his free throw rate. A guy his size taking 3 free throws a game just feels wrong. He takes less free throws a game than Grayson Allen, and he really likes to get to those high or low gather moves but ends up hurting him sometimes because he's pretty much stuck having to either go up or make a difficult pass out of traffic. So the few times he's decided to plant his feet and actually play off two, he's been able to get to a controlled step through or find an available teammate. It's really about playing under control and not immediately putting himself in situations where there's no plan B. One of the bigger concerns pre-draft outside of shooting efficiency is his struggle against physicality. And Buzelis is going to need to build a lot more strength as he gets older because he does get pushed out of position by players of all different shapes and sizes. Small physical guards can get under him and deter him from putting the ball down from the three-point line. Athletic, versatile wings are all the rage these days, so he's going to see plenty of those nightly, and most bigs are going to have their way with him in the post if he's trying to battle inside. As a passer, he absolutely has the touch and the court vision thanks to his size to see over defenders and hit guys on the way to the basket. Or when he drives and kicks against a shrinking defense, it just doesn't seem like he's been utilized enough in that capacity. But I'd like to see that part of his game be explored a lot more. Defensively speaking, he's a fascinating player because there's just so much he's capable of doing. He's already an elite shot blocker in his second season. He's currently sitting in the top 10 in blocks per game with 1.5. He has 106 total blocks so far, which ties him with Scotty Barnes. The Bulls have had Manas Buzelis playing as the low man, helping away from a non-shooter to clog the paint or guard a shooter and then just leave it to tag if there's a pick and roll and a big man diving to the basket, and then he's had to face having to run back out and contest shots, which makes sense schematically, but I would love to see them test his defensive limits and put him on the point of attack more, even if that's a real weakness of his, because they're not going to win games anyways as presently constructed, so why not just put him in uncomfortable places to learn the game, or at least see, how good he can really be. That being said, he has a lot of work to do containing the ball. He does get beat pretty often on drives, opening up and getting bumped out of the way, where he will at least try to use his length to bother the attempts from behind, and he does tend to get to those shots at times in very surprising ways, which leads to obviously his elite skill as a shot blocker. But it is the side of the ball where you do see the lack of strength become a tough obstacle for him. Because while he has the foot speed, the length, the athleticism to switch around like all over the place, he does get overpowered by a lot of people on drives. And he's able to make up for that lack of strength with his great hands and timing on the blocks like Chet Holmgren does. But the difference is Chet Holmgren's also 7'1", which is significantly taller than Matas at 6'8". So as a secondary rim protector, he does get the job done, but he just can't anchor a defense, at least not now. And also needs to improve his rebounding, which is another concern that people had pre-draft. I think he's shown a lot of promise in just his second season, and people have to keep in mind the absolute disaster of a roster around him. Outside of a few guys that I really like here, shout out to Leonard Miller, who seems like a nice gem that they picked up as a throw-in in that trade late in the season. I'm hoping for a successful draft because this is one of those teams that when actually good, the NBA feels better to me for some reason. If you like this breakdown, feel free to let me know who you'd like to see in the comments or send me an email at atbpodmail@gmail.com. Thanks for watching this video. This is the All Things Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Vic Lopez, as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.